Hey everybody, I'm Dwayne Wade Sr., my co-host Patrick Reynolds from Take a Stand. Today on our show we have a mother and son team, Natalie Sigolito and Joe Tremmels from Tilted Globe. We're going to talk to them today about their organization, their company. Patrick?
Hey guys, hey, it is awesome to be with this great family here, mother and son. We're going to talk about some of their technology they have with Tilted Globe today. Joe, let's get right into it. Tell me what got you guys started.
Absolutely. I started with being a college student out at the University of Wyoming. During that time, I was studying mechanical engineering and stage design. I ended up, through the stage design side of things and theater, coming to eventually own my own production company. And once I signed my first royalty agreement and started doing shows, I invited, of course, my family mother and my mom out to come out and see the show. To which her reply was, I can't make it out there. I've got all these compliance classes and everything I'm taking for the CFPB. So stream it and I'll buy a ticket to watch it and I'll watch it online. To which my reply, of course, was you can't do that because there's nothing out there that allows you to do that, meet the royalty and copyright requirements that are federally required, and actually stream the show without it being able to be stolen. So her being from Missouri, the show me state, immediately said, no, there's got to be something out there. You just haven't found it yet. Go find it. And thus started the 3-month-long discussion / mother and son debate about why this isn't out there, why you can't do it. And eventually at the end of that 3 months, we said, all right, let's build it. And so we started building Tilted Globe.
So, Mom, tell me a little bit about yourself. Wade's going to give you the microphone and tell me what was some of your ambitions in getting yourself started and getting involved with your son in this new cool company you guys just started here just about 3 years ago.
Right. Well, when your child asks you to do something, you do it. You say, okay, I'm there. I want to support you. I do that with all 3 of my sons. So when we finally had the aha moment and said, this is it, this is worth building it, let's take a step back and do it, we sat down and started building it from scratch. And realizing that we had to do it quickly and by the grace of God and our just Joe's integrity and intuition, we sat down and spent a year building out the patented technology. And here we are today. We're lucky enough that this technology has found many other uses, and it's one of those aha moments when you go, okay, maybe we have created an answer to a problem.
Now, Natalie, I heard you say you had other sons. Do they have any part in the company? And how does it feel 3 years later after the company's been built what do you feel about the company now?
I am, yes, I have 3 sons. Joe's my eldest. I have a middle son, Lewis, who's 24, and Oliver, who's the youngest, in 12. It is a family company. This family, we built it together. We're going to run it together, and the future is theirs. It is amazing what they can do with this, and what with inspiration and a little bit of hard work, they can do anything they want to, and that's what I've taught them since they were young. So everything's in front of them. The beautiful thing is we built this for the theater world, and the entertainment industry has come to us. We've found lots of other vehicles and lots of other verticals of business that are interested in it, and I tell the boys, just go forward and do it. And here we are, and we've been able to garner the attention of a great team around us, and the world's theirs.
So, Joe, you tell me what's the pros and cons to the business?
Right now, I can tell you the cons of what used to be. What we've done is solve those cons, right? What the cons of streaming used to be, such as many out there who have tried to do it, is that you could never control how many people are going to access your event, whether they paid for it, whether they subscribed for it or not. They would stream rip it, pull it off the back end, share it with hundreds of other people. What we've been able to do is actually stop that from happening and also integrate it fully with our PRO licenses, with ASCAP, CSAC, BMI, as well as with a full merchant processing system. So when you come to us, it's an all-in-one system now. Whereas producers and things that tried to stream shows before were always running on a deficit on the back end where their merchant processor tells them their got 2,000 paid subscriptions to the show, and then the people who are providing them the bandwidth turn around and say, well, you had 10,000 or 100,000 people stream it, so we need to bill you for the 10,000 or 100,000 even though you only got monetization out of 2,000. That's unacceptable in a theater, in a physical world, and it's unacceptable online too. You can't run a business with that sort of security risk, and that's what we stopped and have solved. As far as difficulties and things, I think is kind of what you're asking in starting this business up in a way. It's definitely been a learning process. I've founded the theatrical company, but that in no way measures up to doing this sort of startup and build out in technology. And with luckily my mom being in the legal space beforehand has been an amazing help all along the way with her background and her knowledge that she has. So we've just been bringing the right sort of people and everything together with the right skill sets. We all know what our strengths are and where our weaknesses, and we're filling all those holes. So we've really been able to streamline and push down and push through a lot of other barriers that most people would have had a much harder time getting through.
And that's, I can't ask for anything more as a parent and a mother than see my 3 sons work together and grow something together. And it makes you emotional because you're a parent and you want your kids to be successful in what they do and have a passion in what they do. So, we've had a lot of nail-gripping nights. You can imagine a mother and son working together wasn't always the easiest. I pulled the mom card a few times, and then I learned not to always pull the mom card. And we've been successful today. We may write a book about it someday, and maybe it's a book we don't want to edit, but we'll definitely. I'm proud of what they've done, and I'm proud of what each of them have brought to the table. And
so let me ask you this. So now informing, Tilted Globe, the technology, why is it important for the casual person that's watching this today to be excited about it, or even if you're a person of entertainment? Why should you be excited about Tilted Globe, and where you guys is going here and moving forward?
Great, good question. Tilted Globe's mission is to break down the barriers separating the global online community from global entertainment. We want to be able that anybody, anywhere can reach a performance and participate in a performance and watch a performance, and at the same time allow that performance to monetize as it should. So today it gives us now a global equal footing globally amongst events, whether it's a 501c3 in South Africa or somewhere that's trying to raise money on a charity event. They can now come in and sell tickets for live real-time viewing of that event from anybody in the world. They can tap into friends and family in the US or in London, and simultaneously the same thing happens here. Artists, as we've learned, and weren't expecting the music industry to envelop this as they have, but we're really happy they have, because the entertainers are running around the country performing their hearts out, and even guys who had retired are having to come back into the marketplace in their golden years to keep monetizing. Now that with Tilted Globe, we have the global tier of seating. They can securely know that they have secure non-broadcast viewing. No one can copy, share, or download the content that they bring to the Tilted Globe website, and viewers can buy an individual ticket. And there are definitive numbers to that. If somebody wants to sell 10,000 tickets, it's exactly 10,000 views that'll be on Tilted Globe.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you, Joe. Let me follow up on that. You attended the University of Wyoming, right?
Yeah, Cowboy Boots is the day I die.
So tell me, what is the staying Cowboy Boots? That's funny. That's good. Now tell me, what's the staying power of Tilted Globe, for the future? I mean, obviously you guys just want a legacy. So what is you guys' staying power? What are some of the things that your mom just said?
Our staying power is pretty much it's built around the continued uses of the technology. What we've ended up doing it entirely by accident was we ended up creating a brand new way to stream over the internet. Right now, streams over the internet are done over what is basically a broadcast signal. There's one destination. If you know what that destination is, or that dial-in is, or that server address is, or what the access code is, which has to be delivered to your computer when you hit play, then you can put it up on a Wix website and let everybody go to it, right? And then everybody gets around, when they talk about Kanye West show back in February, and why is it only 3 million people subscribe to it, yet 20 million different IP addresses were able to get to it all at the exact same time, right? Somebody's got to pay for all those 17 million in bandwidth extra, right? But this stops that. It makes it so it breaks even 1-to-1. So for the end user, it is you get access now to content that could not be streamed before because there wasn't the security to do it. We would have been giving the content away. And for the future of Tilted Globe, it's being able to deliver telecommunication in between doctors and patients with nobody being able to hack into the stream, being able to deliver classroom lectures and everything and keep them to a set standard where there's not an outrageous cost that these online classes are experiencing right now. They're in some cases 2 or 4 or 3 times as much as if the student was actually in place. Talking about VR content, right now there is no VR box office. Everybody is talking about VR content, right? Making the next VR movies, what they're going to look like. They're the future. They're akin to in the movie industry when sound was coming out, right? And if you weren't working on sound 3 years beforehand, then your production house was going to go under. And now everybody's working on VR, but there is no VR box office. You can't sell a VR movie in a theater. What our technology allows is the ability to, now we can integrate with VR and send 1-to-1 connections anywhere in the world at set times, the night of the show times, and give VR movies now a box office sale as well. So when you talk about what the future and what the capabilities are and where we're going next, it's those kind of things that where all this thing has potential uses for. So yeah.
What is the platform that you have for mentoring as far as your company goes for young children that's coming up today that probably wants to do some of the amazing things that Tilted Globe is doing?
Thank you. Yes. Tilted Globe, as we realized what we had developed and the opportunities that we had for my children and for other children in the community, and what the community needed when it came to parenting, was that we developed the opportunity called the Divine Mercy Family Centers. Divine Mercy Family Centers are the opportunity to provide a place, a Christian-based, non-denominational center for all families, regardless of race, creed, denomination, in every major city. A place where families can go to, where families can bond, where there is outreach programs available. Within the Divine Mercy Family Centers, we want to be able to provide mentoring to children. We want to mentor parents. We want to provide outreaches for mental health facilities. We want to have an outreach facility for mental health care for people today, because it is in short demand. The more we delve into this arena of what we need to take care of each other, and the only way to do that is to be able to provide them what they can't, what resources aren't available somewhere else. Further, we want the Divine Mercy Family Centers at the family centers to be able to provide a place for women and children coming out of trafficking situations. And we will be working with groups such as the Glory House here in Miami to build dormitory living facilities, give them the opportunity to be reintroduced into both the workplace and into the community, where many of them have not had that opportunity for a number of years. So beyond Tilted Globe is what Tilted Globe can give back globally, and that's the Divine Mercy Family Centers. And since the inception of the idea, we have been reached to by many people who all want to come into the same space and recognize it. And I think we see it and hear it on the media today and elsewhere. You know, mental health is an issue for everyone. It's not about money. It's not about status. Everybody. Yeah, I know players, sports guys are dealing with mental health, issues. And where can they go? So, one piece of the Tilted Globe, the Divine Mercy Family Centers, is to be able to provide those kind of resources and outreaches, and also provide a safe community and place for people to be together.
Great.
Okay.
Now, Joe, how can you help them by giving them some kind of guidance through this program?
The best thing is to I know it's said over and over again, but do what makes you happy. Do what is your passion. Because if you're doing your passion, it's not work anymore. In some ways, it does become an obsession, and somebody's telling you at 3 a.m. in the morning you need to go to sleep, get off the computer for a little bit and stop working. But being good with people, being upfront, being a good conversationalist, a good person, and doing what you're passionate about are great first steps when you're trying to start something.
Great.
Let me add something in there too,
ahead.
because when you first came up with the idea, it was come home.
Oh yeah.
Because if you come home to your friends and your family, they're going to be there beside you.
Right. It's doing
and
it with people
and
you
that's
know.
that is your success. And it's emotional, and I thank God every day for your friends and the family and the people in this community who came around you. And the other piece of that, tears aside, is that don't let anybody say no. Don't let anybody tell you, because along our path, people said, you're too early. You guys don't know what you have. The market's not ready for you. And we didn't say no. You didn't accept that. We kept going. We said, we'll buckle down. We'll stay lean and mean. Don't give up, because when you give up on a dream, it won't happen. And if you recognize it, do it. And if nothing else, reach out to that person you don't know. There were times that we went to people we knew, but when we didn't know who to go to, there's plenty of resources out there. There's meetups. There's all kinds of things going on. The great thing about the tech world in South Florida is that it's still new and people are sharing. So there's a lot of places to go and think about it, and you can be a young kid and find some great places. You can be 14 years old and make a fortune. As long as you have the drive, don't take no. Keep asking questions, and you'll find the right person. Okay?
Let me ask you one more question on the no. Talk about an experience that you might have had when someone's told you no, and how did you digest that, and what were some of the ways that you were able to overcome the no? Because the no's, in our day's society, it has a crippling effect on especially younger adults or children or teenage stage. The no. When someone says, no, you can't do this, you shouldn't be doing that, or like your mom just said, you're too early for something that's great.
And for us, I mean, we had several experiences where people told us no, or told us no at first, and maybe one of the things to look at when someone does tell you no is, am I explaining this correctly? And I know for me this is a big issue because I tend to be very technical when I explain things, and when you're talking to somebody who's not at the same sort of technological level or understanding as you, things go over their head immediately. They catch very small things and they're like, no. It's like the first time I talked with my mom about streaming and why we couldn't stream the show. It's got to be out there. It's the internet. There's somebody, and it took 3 months of going back and forth over every single little detail of this, So
that hasn't changed, though.
Right? No, but it's still making sure you've got a good message, and knowing how you're articulating yourself, how you're explaining the things can turn a lot of those no's into yeses sometimes. And when you do get a no, you got to remember, some people don't have the same vision as you. If everybody had it, you wouldn't have these multi-millionaires out there who are huge success stories that rose from nothing, because there's going to be 99 out of 100 people who say something can't be done, but it's the one who says it can that actually goes out and changes the world, right? Yeah. So you've got to remember, you're going to have people say no to you. Right? But you've got to be able to push past that and keep pulling forward.
Wow. It definitely sounds like, for me and Wade from Take a Stand, we've endured a lot of different unique conversations with people. No, for me and Wade, it seems like it adds fuel, and it seems like that's what it does for you and your mom, Natalie. It's a fuel thing for us, because I love the no's now, because it opens up the brain and it gives you the ability to try things that most people can't do, or succumbing to certain obstacles that some people that might get suppressed by those things. It's a challenge. So Natalie,
it's a test, and I think for us, and maybe it's the stubbornness, and I related it on to my kids, was no is the challenge to overcome. And what I have to say Joe had the ability to do, and this younger generation has, that I am just constantly befuddled by is that they can find the answers on the internet. You know, if you tell them no, and he says, okay, great, I'll go prove it to you. You don't have to go to the library, or you don't have to go do, mountains of books of research to find it. Get on the internet, and in an hour, and I'm often saying, where'd you learn that? Even the 12-year-old. How do you know to do that? So, guys, it's it's as easy as looking for the solution. And I always consider a no to be try and poke a hole in what we have, because we could do nothing but get better through the no's. If there's a no and there's a hole that needs to be filled, let me know what it is so we can go fill it, and it makes us stronger and better. And so we look forward to no's and pushback.
I think that's awesome. I mean, we're having fun right here. We're Take a Stand. We got some exciting new things that we want to talk about, too, within Tilted Globe and their company. I have an exciting guy I want to talk about, Mr. Donovan Bytewood. He's one of you guys' own, graduated from the University of Miami, played with Ray Lewis, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He's an awesome guy. I can't wait to talk to him here. So, me and Dwayne Wade Sr., we're just getting started. We're just getting heated up. And we're going to get back to you guys as hopefully everyone's enjoying. Thank you.